Hey, you okay? Hey, I think maybe you could do some help. No, I don't want any help.
You know, you should really quit that. It's not very good for your health.
I don't want to stop. I quite like it. It relaxes me.
Oh God, I wish I looked like them.
You know exercise is good for both your physical and mental health, right? And remember, your only competition is yourself.
I don't want to go to the gym though. I can't be bothered and I don't have time.
Have you ever thought about why behaviour change is so difficult? It's because individuals focus on what they're having to give up, as opposed to thinking about what they might actually gain by making these changes. So thinking about it in the context of the Transtheoretical model of change, there's various different stages in which we go through, and that is very much dependent on somebody's readiness to make these changes. What you'd seen in the initial videos was at the pre-contemplation stage, where they have no intention of changing the behaviours at this time. The next stage of the cycle is the contemplation stage, where there is the intention to change and a plan to do so soon. The next stage is preparation, where there is also once again the intention to change, and some steps have already been taken out to do so. The next stage is action, where the behaviour is changed for a short period of time. Following this comes maintenance, where the behaviour is being changed for a long period of time. And lastly comes termination, where there is no desire to return to previous negative behaviours. Taking the Transtheoretical model of change into account, and knowing that, change can't necessarily be forced, but it is somewhat necessary. Future you is very much dependent on the changes that you make now. If I look back at some of the behaviours that I used to exhibit when I was younger, at the time I didn't know that change was necessary. I didn't feel that way. And yet, now, and future me is eternally grateful that those changes were made. Because some of the habits that I engaged in weren't helpful, and though I didn't recognise it at the time, I'm now a better person for making those changes. So, if you think that you don't necessarily need to make a change, or you don't want to, maybe now it's time to really reevaluate that, because you never know, your future self might be really grateful.